Hi there folks, and welcome to Paint Along with Matthew Palmer. In this series we're going to go through every single stage of watercolour painting, literally starting right at the beginning and taking you through step by step. We'll talk about the equipment, we'll talk about mixing colours, but mainly we'll get you actually painting. I'm joined by 3 students through the series who have not really painted before. It'll be fantastic to see how they progress. So hopefully I can inspire them and you and give you the confidence that you need to get started in watercolours. Let's say a big hello to Harry.
Hello.
Mandy.
Hello.
And Nigel.
Hello.
This week's painting is a wonderful mountain sunset scene with a misty atmosphere and pine trees. And the techniques you'll be learning are wetting to wet skies, painting the sun, working with tones of grey to achieve depth, and painting pine trees to achieve atmosphere. Very simple. What we'll do is work with just 4 colours. Natural blue, natural yellow, alizarin crimson, remember that one, and natural grey. First job, I want to get a piece of tissue and a penny, press it in there, twist it, grab it, and twist it again. So what's that? Press, twist, grab and twist, something like that.
Right.
Nice and flat, ready for doing the actual sun on the bottom of the painting. Put that up to one side, ready for action when we need it there. Working with a size 20, also known as the big one. As regards colour mixing, very simple. What we'll do is mix up some nice bright colours. First of all, the crimson red. Nice and pale bags of water for this one. Bags of water, that's the crimson red. Clean it through, then go for the water again, go for the natural yellow. That could be slightly stronger than the red. Clean it through again. And very simply go for the natural blue. Again, that could be quite a strong colour, this one. So there's the 3 colours. Clean your brush and then wet the paper top to bottom. Always mix your colours first for this one.
Why?
Why? Because if you mix your colours afterwards, what will probably happen is that this is drying while you're mixing.
Right.
You want it to be wet but not soaking wet, okay? Bring it down all the way to the bottom on this painting as well. Again, look down the edge, make sure you've not missed any bits, make sure it's all pretty much covered on there. And then we'll start painting. We'll go for the yellow ochre first, or the natural stone. This is a little bit richer colour, all the way down to the bottom. Just imagine you're painting a wall at home, full arm brush stroke, forward and back, forward and back. Clean your brush. Go for the red, the crimson red. Put the red slightly above, bring it down towards the warmer colour, the natural yellow, bring it through and get the colours mixing on the paper. And you can see that the colours are starting to blend into one another. It's going more brown where the transition is. Take it down towards the bottom, back up towards the top. So a nice sort of pinky colour. Then go for the blue, and you don't need to clean your brush all that much for this one because the blue is a much stronger colour, so get the blue in there. Quite powerful, right at the top, bring it down into the crimson, the pink and the colours blend together. You can see that happening there, look. So it's a nice sort of graduated wash, as we call it. Pop that away. Get the penny wrapped in tissue and decide where you want to pop your sun. I'd say probably around about there somewhere. So we can get that on, just stamp it. A few seconds, let go, and hopefully you get the sun just shining at the bottom. I've just noticed, because I'm working on a slope, I've got a little bit of water starting to creep into the actual picture there. If that happens, I just need to slightly take that away, just with a bit of tissue. Most people work on a flat table, so you shouldn't really get that problem. Using more tissue, mould a little bit of a blob on the end of it. That's a blob. And what we'll do is we'll start to put some clouds in this thing. Working with a point and twisting your tissue without taking it off the actual paper. If you leave it on the paper, it's taking the paint with it and it's dragging it through. And we can continue this across there. Imagine the shapes of the clouds.
Are they cumulus nimbus?
That's exactly what they are, yeah. Cumulus or something or other. Get a new blob on your tissue and just take a bit of time on this. The paper's quite forgiving. It stays wet for 2 or 3 minutes and it means you can work quite nicely in there. You can drag out the paint. Take it to a nice point towards the centre. As it comes down in the pink, I could do some more clouds, making it smaller, making it larger. And you can see it's coming together to be quite a nice little sky painting there. Take it through. So while that dries off, let's see how Nigel gets on. Right, Nigel, here we go. So let's get stuck into this then. What we'll do is, first of all, wet your paper top to bottom. All your colours are nicely mixed, well done on that one. So using your size 20,
Or the big one?
Or the big one.
And this is completely across all the paper?
Yeah, all the way down. It doesn't matter that your water's slightly mucky. It's fine. It's okay. Mucky.
Mucky.
That's the same as dotty. Again, working on the cotton paper, which means it stays wetter slightly longer than a wood-based paper. First colour is going to be always the cleanest colours. In the bottom third, to the natural yellow. Like that. It helps if you make that noise.
Yeah.
Plenty of paint on your brush.
Gives you a better picture.
I think it does too. I agree. Make sure you cover the whole thing. There it is. Smash in.
Okay.
I think a bit more colour actually, but really dig your brush deep in the paint, make sure it's loaded and make sure it's full on. That's it, there you go, all the way across. That's it, you've got it.
Loaded and full on.
Yeah, make a note of that, loaded and full on. It's useful
Loaded
for
and
future.
full on,
That's
okay.
it, write it down there. The red next.
You...
It should be okay. Should be okay, not to bother, because that's a richer colour. Middle third, but I want your colours to blend to each other. Painting your walls at home, remember? Slap it on side to side, slightly higher, maybe up to there. All the way across, bring it down into the yellow, so your colours start to blend. It's called the graduated wash, this one. So you're getting more of an orange.
And you just keep it going?
Keep it going until you think it looks like it's blending together. I think that's pretty good to me. Then the blue, again, it's fine just to go straight in there, dig deep. Right to the top, bring it down into the, that's fine, there you go. Side to side. When the blue and the red touch, you're obviously going to get like a purple.
Okay, and then keep going again?
Yeah, there's a bit of a line there, so you need to get rid of your line really on that one. That's it, bring it down. There you go. That's it. Perfect. Pop that down. Hard work's done. Get your sun painting gadget. You can buy,
is that what it's called now?
You can buy these actually.
What, pennies?
A sun painting gadget.
They cost a penny?
A couple of quid each, I think.
Oh, right, okay.
Just round about there somewhere, just pop your sun on. Stamp it for a few seconds and let go, and hopefully you've got your sun there. Marvellous. Hey? Hey?
Hardest
Magic.
bit of the job.
How did we get the clouds? Do you remember how we got the clouds?
Ah.
It was a blob.
A blob.
It's a blob, and you twist your blob on your paper, make it larger, make it smaller as it comes across.
And you just go anywhere?
Yeah, in the blue area, really. Twisting. I'll probably get a bit more pressure, maybe a larger blob. It'd be good. I take note of that, larger blob.
Bigger blob.
Larger blob.
Bigger blob.
That's better, and so on and so on. If you take it away to a point, it looks more realistic. The reason you're not dabbing and twisting is because if you twist, it actually takes the paint with your tissue, and it looks more like a cloud, I think. You can add as many of these bits as you wish.
So is it more like of a drag? You drag
It's dragging, it's sort of twisting it, it's dragging the paint with it.
So you don't come off the
Each
paint?
twist. No, until it stops doing it, because a point will come where your tissue's too dotty or mucky.
Dotty.
You get a new one.
I'm learning Yorkshire as well today. That's
Do you
quite
prefer dotty or mucky? Or what do you
filthy.
mind? That's it. Happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more just there, would be good.
And build it up. That
Yeah. Take it off your paper. I think that's okay, do you? Yeah? So that's got to dry off 100%. And while Harry and Mandy paint, we'll have a quick recap of this stage. Dropping the three colours onto wet paper, starting at the bottom with a natural yellow, and then alizarin crimson in the middle, natural blue at the top. Use a round coin wrapped tightly in kitchen paper to dab out the sun. And finally use a ball of kitchen paper to roll out the clouds rather than dab. Right, so well done folks on that one. Now this is nice and dry. What we'll do is work back over the top of it. Put some misty hills in there, very simply using the natural grey colour and working with a size 6 brush for this one. So nice and simple, plenty of water again, put the grey in there, it's a perfect shadow colour this one. So what we'll do is use this colour, bags of water, and put some misty mountains coming through there. Towards the bottom, I'm just going to put this line across, and you can see that because watercolour is transparent, it shows through what's underneath there, so I'll bring it down. Imagine the shapes of the mountains as you take it down, something like this. Get the water very quickly on your brush. Wipe it on some tissue and just water this down and just blend it to nothing as you get towards the bottom. Keep going until there's no hard line left at the bottom, just at the top of the hills there. So that needs to dry off again, and then we'll put some darker mountains over the top. That's nice and dry, so using the same colour, just slightly deeper, so a touch more paint in there. I'm just going to work over the top of this again and look for some other hills to bring into this one, so it's a slightly stronger colour. Just bring it down in front of these hills. Again, imagine the shape of the hills. It's not much darker, just a fraction. It's all thinking a bit misty though as you do this. Take it right across your paper, size 6 brush, get it across, get the water again, wipe it on tissue, and very loosely just wiggle across with a damp brush. Take it away to nothing. Keep going in the water on the tissue until it pretty much just all blends away to nothing at the bottom. What you could do is use the same colour, and while it's slightly damp, just put 1 or 2 little trees and things over the top. And of course a tree at that distance is only going to be a little blob, so I'll put some little spots and things at the side. Just working through. The damp brush, I can blend it in if it is dry. So it's got some detail going off in the corner there. When that dries off, I'll put some darker mountains and then some nice pine trees over the top. Again, nice and dry, completely dry, and we'll now go much darker and thicker with the colours in your palette. 2 colours this time. I'm going to use the natural grey colour again, quite heavy, quite strong. And the second colour is the natural stone, quite thick and quite heavy. Size 6 brush again. So if we put some more definite hills working down on this side, I'm going to bring it up and then bring it straight down. And you can see how dark it is. I'll bring it down towards the bottom there. Take it through onto this side, more colour, bags of water all the time, bring it through. And just slightly bring it down a fraction there. To be honest, you can work any kind of shapes you want into this one, really. Still working with the dark colour, but bringing some of the yellow into it as well, the natural yellow colour. Bring that into it, work it through. Hopefully you can see why it's called natural yellow. It's not a bright, sunshiny one, but it means you can use it on things like hills, mountains, beaches, buildings, that kind of thing. Work it down, get the darkness in the corner, and literally just fill it in. I'm filling it in all the way through. And I'd now spend a few minutes just working over the tops of this and thinking maybe I could put some highlights in this. A few trees, using the dark colour again. Even a little house if you wanted to. Obviously the scale's quite small at that distance. Put the palette down, clean your brush. Wipe it almost completely dry, almost squeeze out all the water. Use that brush to run over the top. Clean it and squeeze it and drag it through these hills. If it's damp enough, it lets you take some colour off, giving a little bit of contour to it, I suppose. It's almost pulling it down from one side and then the other into the middle. It's got a nice recession effect there. I mean, watercolour painting is nice because you can work back at any time and add little bits, because I'm thinking to use a nice pale grey again. I think I'm just going to put a very weak little sort of misty hill just at that side there. A single line, almost like a long wiggly line in your picture. Get the water on the tissue there and just completely take that away to nothing as you work down. It's there, but it's not all that obvious. It's just a nice misty one just sat at the back. Just going off into the sun, really. We'll leave that to dry, folks, and we'll see how Mandy does. Right, so Mandy, let's get some mountains in this one then, using a nice pale natural grey. Just going to do a nice wiggly mountain line.
All the way across?
All the way across. Bags of paint, nice and thick line. And water it down using a damp brush. So there you go.
Oh dear.
I like that little bit there. That's the Swinefoot mountain climbers, that one. Just go back across it again, make sure it's all covered in.
Good ski.
Make sure it's fresh as well.
That's ridiculous.
I'd probably take that off if I were you. There you go. And then just go over it again and just get the water on it.
Hard work, mountains.
Water it down. That's it, look at this now. She's
Oh, she's off now.
speed painting.
Cooking on gas.
Speed painting. There you go. That's fine. We'll dry that off, and then using the same colour, we'll go over it again, but further down the picture. Happy? Yeah, let's dry it off then.
Good.
Right, Mandy, that's dried off. Let's get the second row of mountains on to push those ones into the
Same paint
background. Same colour over the top, it's going to go slightly darker. That's it. Think
go
about the shapes you're creating.
all the way across?
Yeah, that's it. So you should be able to water that down. As long as it looks shiny, you should be able to work back into it again. And that's shining, isn't it there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is now. It's turned into a picture now in about 5 minutes.
Mm.
I
Not
always
bad.
find when you paint a sky, if you just leave the sky and nothing else, it doesn't look like anything. It's
No.
when you put some landscape on, you can see that it's
Yeah.
actually looking like something. That's it. We'll dry it off and then we'll go darker right down in front, coming through there.
Yeah.
Okay, doke.
Okay.
So nice and dry again.
So it's a little bit darker,
It is. It's getting these dark mountains in the foreground, yeah,
starting
Coming
in that
down.
corner
and then slightly at the bottom.
over that.
This is using a much thicker version of natural grey, which is obviously going to work
Yeah.
closer. And while you're doing this, if you work some of the natural yellow to it as well, the warmer colour's going to stand forward.
Does it
bring
need to go
closer.
across
I
there
think
or
so.
just
Put a few little trees on it as well.
across this bit?
Yeah, I think you could raise it back up on this side actually. That's it. Then bring some of the yellow into it. Make sure you paint on your paper as you do it. There you go. It's amazing how it gives you that open distance, and
Yeah.
blending it down at the bottom makes it look more interesting than just filling it in, because it's like it's a misty morning or an evening or something.
Mm.
Put a few blobs for trees on there as well.
In
Yeah,
which colour?
in the grey, if you can just scrape enough up, and there's just enough there to do it. Then we'll take some lines out of it as well. That's it.
It's a bit wet.
Just work it through. That's like a little man there. Or you scrape a little bit out of
I'm
there.
running out of colour.
That's better.
Yeah.
isn't it? If you run out of the grey, you could always mix the blue and the stone together. That'll give you a dark colour. Right, if you clean your brush, wipe it dry on tissue and you can drag out the lines to give the contour. So clean it, wipe it and drag it.
Clean white
Clean
drag.
white
I'll write
drag.
it down.
Well, like that. I think you've already got it somewhere, haven't you? Clean
Yeah,
white.
but I've written over it.
Each time you drag it, wipe it and drag it again. That's it, there you go. Okay? Gives it like a contour, like
Yeah.
it's coming out towards us. Okay, so that needs to dry off. And while Harry and Nigel put their mountains in, let's recap this stage. Using a pale natural grey, painting the distant mountains and use a damp brush to blend the mountains into the mist. Repeat for the foreground mountain, using stronger colour and adding just a touch of natural yellow. And add a few spots and blobs for trees across the ridges in the mountains. That's it for part one, folks. Join us after the break where we're going to paint in some birds and some pine trees to finish the painting off.